Hello and welcome to the North Buffalo Ice Rink in Buffalo, New York. Oswego State taking on Niagara University for the NECHL semifinals. I'm Ben Grieco. Ethan Wiesberger is going to be the cameraman tonight. Jerry Pritchard did have to work this weekend. It is playoff hockey, and we are excited to be here. As I said, North Buffalo Ice Rink. The playoffs this year are being hosted by Canisius College. Oswego State comes in with a 13-16, 0-1 record following last weekend's win, and a 7-1, 5-1 NECHL record, while Niagara has a 13-16, 2-1 record, 4-2, 6-2 in conference. Oswego State is the third seed for the playoffs, just missed the first round by a couple points behind Canisius and University at Buffalo. And the other semifinal game is going to be between RIT and Cortland tonight, happening later after this game, so we'll find out the standings after that. Last time out for Oswego State, a 5-4 win over Niagara in overtime at the Morano Campus Center. Nick Matro with the game winner in OT. Kyle McNamara, had 3 points. He had 2 goals and assists, almost matching his hat trick last time against Niagara when they were at the Dwyer Ice Arena. Jay Chapin with a goal and assist. Mike Lemieux had 2 assists. Nick Matro and Brett Dawson had a goal apiece, and it was the first career goal for Brett Dawson, so we do want to apologize for not getting the stream on that, as the battery was going down a little bit during the game, and we might have a problem with that as we are at a half battery right now, but we will do our best tonight. Wands, Cup, and Morgan and O'Neill all had an assist each. Dan Parapesco had 34 saves on 38 shots last weekend. Leading scorers for the Lakers, Kyle McNamara has 18 goals, 19 assists for 37 points. He's fourth in the NECHL, as we just found out in the program. CJ Walsh is second in for the Lakers, with 13 goals, 8 assists for 21 points. Theo Cup, 3 goals, 14 assists, and 17 points. And I have also just found out about Cup that it is his birthday on Sunday, so they'll hope to come away with the birthday weekend win for him. Goaltender leaders is Alex Golosi, who is going to be your starter tonight. With 20 games played this season, he got an 8-10 record, a 323 goals against average after allowing 60 goals this season, 556 saves with a 903 save percentage along with 2 shutouts. Oswego State is 2-0 against Niagara University this season, 1 win from Golosi and the other last weekend from Pez. Niagara University comes in as the 6th seed on the other side, 2 points ahead of Rutgers in order to get into the playoffs. So Rutgers and Cortland State are the teams not in the playoffs this year. As I said a couple times, head coach is Larry Petrowski and the assistant coach is Tom Morardian. And their last time out was obviously that 5-4 loss to Oswego, as I just said, in overtime. Robert McNamara matched his McNamara counterpart last weekend with 2 goals and assists. Kyle Clifford with 2 assists. Andrew Parrish, 1 goal, 1 assist. Justin Crawford with a goal. And also Frank Vecchio, David Fish, and Ryan Peters all had an assist. John Nichols, the goaltender, had 23 saves on 28 shots. We're not sure who the starting goaltender is quite yet, but we'll find that momentarily. Leaders for Niagara overall, Robert McNamara has 24 goals, 12 assists for 36 points. Ryan Peters with 13 goals, 19 assists for 32 points. And Tyler Stockwell, 8 goals, 19 assists, 27 points. Goaltending leader is Grant Zell. He has 18 games played, a 6-7 record, 67 goals allowed with a 411 goals against average, 455 saves for an 872 save percentage, and no shutouts. And like I said, we seem to have a problem playing Niagara. The first game was the audio problem. Last game was the batteries, which would hopefully have no issues. Maybe the battery might cause us a little problem, but we are under a little better heat. So maybe we'll see if the battery can save itself a little bit. A note, though, Oswego State, as the referees do hit the ice, Oswego State wins. They will face Canisius College tomorrow. If they lose, the season's over for the Lakers in their playoff run. Starting forward for the Lakers this afternoon, most likely the first line is going to be Nick Matro, Chase Nees, and Andrew Carty. And on defense, Chris Wands and Theo Cup. And as I said, Alex Golosi, your starting goaltender. Max O'Mara, Ethan Wiesberger, RJ Smith, and Dan Dorney is in. So those 3 are going to be the scratches for this evening. Players waiting to hit the ice as we go on their side, Niagara on the opposite side. And one thing you will notice compared to the Morano Campus Center is that both benches are on the same side. So they do not have to worry about, at least Oswego State does not have to worry about waiting for the other team to leave the ice first. Leading out for goaltenders for Niagara is going to be Grant Zell. So he'll have the start, as we've discussed his stats already. So he'll be the starting goaltender. Alex Golosi will be the starting goaltender for the Lakers. We'll keep an eye on who the starting 5 will be for either side, as both teams do hit the ice. Center ice being swarmed by players and referees. Oswego State on the opposite side of their locker room, so you won't see them enter the ice, but you will see them hit the ice as they enter. Starting line is going to be that first line for Oswego State: Nick Matro, Chase Nees, and Andrew Carty. Wait and see who goes on down on the defense, and it looks like it is going to be Theo Cupp and Chris Wands, or I said Alex Golosi in net. Sorry about that. We are having a new goaltender, so we're figuring this all out. David Heaslett is going to be the one of the starting defensemen, along with Logan Field. Number 13, Robert McNamara, is going to be on the left wing, and at center is going to be number 15, Chris Gazowicz for your starting forward. And also, Ryan Peters is going to be the fifth starter. And like I said, Grant Zell is going to be a starting goaltender for Niagara, if you might have heard the public address announcer over me. And as I said, Nick Matro, Chase Nees, and Andrew Carty on the first line. Nick Matro had that overtime winner against Niagara last weekend. Chris Wands and assistant captain Theo Cupp are going to be the starting defenders. And as I said, Theo Cupp, the birthday boy this weekend. Alex Golosi, the man between the pipes, this afternoon at the North Buffalo Ice Rink, home of the Buffalo Bisons, as well as Canisius College. They play most of their games here, but it is the Buffalo Bisons rink. I believe it is a youth hockey team. I'm not 100% positive. As we honor America for the national anthem momentarily. Goaltenders head back to their crease. Players over to the bench for a last-minute pep talk from their respective coaches, and we'll be underway momentarily. Our battery is already at one line, so we're going to work this out as well as we can. And hopefully we don't have another situation like last week where the battery just kept going out and out and out. We are under a little bit more heat, so let's see if that helps a little bit, where it might keep it a little warm. We will find out, however. Oswego State coming into this one on a 2-game win streak between Cortland and Niagara the last couple weeks. There we go. Last time with the OT loss to the Lakers at the Murano Campus Center. Referees look ready to go. Linesmen look ready to go. Fans look ready to go. Goaltenders look ready to go. Players momentarily look ready to go. I hope you're ready to go because I am. Ethan Weisberger's ready to go. Fans are ready to go. NECHL hockey quarterfinals at the North Buffalo Ice Rink. Chase Knees on Christopher Gazowicz. Knees wins the faceoff and they'll go over to Ryan Peters. Chase Knees fighting for it. It goes into the far near corner. Oswego zone. Theo Cup tries to get up to Andrew Carty. Misses the puck, but it'll go into the neutral zone anyway. After over deflection, Niagara dumps it back in. It's on to pick up a Theo stick. Chris runs with the pass up to Matro. Now up to Carty. Carty's got a one-man to beat. Carty shot. Blocked up in front. No shot on goal. Doesn't even touch cell. Now all the way down. It's going to be an icing. Chris Wands beats Niagara. First icing with 19:32 remaining in the period. Oswego State now has a chance in their offensive zone as they switch lines. CJ Walsh and Martin Simonek will come out on defense. Mike Lemieux, Kyle McNamara, and Jay Chapin on offense. Chapin will be the centerman on once again with Gazowicz as they could not change. Gazowicz wins that one, clears it all the way into the neutral zone. Martin Simonek now racing after it along with Peters. Peters looking for a shot. Glossi just gets a pad on it. He holds on. He lets it go, however, and now there's a penalty. Looks like maybe a hook as it's going to go all the way down once again. To see who goes off here. Martin Simonek will get the penalty there. 2-minute hooking call. Oswego State now faced with their first penalty kill only 40 seconds in. Guillaume Herbert out there in center along with Ryan Peters. Peters wins the faceoff and goes back to Logan Field. Shot from Niagara goes in. Just like that, Robert McNamara scores. And they lead 1-0 just 6 seconds into the power play off the angle shot. Purple Eagles take a 1-0 lead through the pads of Alex Glossi. Niagara did jump out to a lead the first time at Dwyer. Oswego State was able to come back in that one. Oswego State did get the first goal, though, against at Murano. So either way, Oswego State needs to get back with this one. Markey at center, along with David Fish. Puck drop. Fish wins it, but it goes onto the stick of O'Neill. 19:12 remaining. Niagara leads 1-0 under a minute left after the power play goal. Chris Carey gives up to Markey. Markey just dumps it in. Almost got it on net, but it's deflected wide. Joe Marcelic pressuring. Bobby O'Neill, he just dumps it in. Oswego State not holding onto the puck. Niagara just skating around a little bit. Now to Markey. Markey gives it up, but it goes on the stick of David Fish. Now right in front, Chris Carey almost got there. Now Sean O'Neill, they're going to get a stick on it. That goes all the way down. Once again, it's going to be icing. Bobby Vasta wins that one, beating Anthony Thurstow. 18:37 now remaining. We still have one bar on the camera. Niagara leads 1-0 quick. Oswego State with this. Chase Knees, at center ice. It's going to be with David Fish. Knees wins that one, but Niagara will get up there. Nick Matro has it. Over to Chase Knees on the near boards. Chase Knees just dump it down. It goes onto the end boards. And it'll go right onto the stick of Niagara. David Fish. He passes it up, but that goes onto the stick of Chris Wands in his own zone. Wands over to Cup. Defensive passes. Cup looking for a long pass. That hits the stick of Andrew Parrish, knocks his stick out of his hands, and it's deflected out of play. It'll stay in the neutral zone. Oswego State. Chase Knees will stay out. Now at center is going to be Frank Vecchio. 18:13 remaining in the period. Chase Knees at center. Linesman pushing back Carty in his wing. Justin Crawford. Knees wins that one, goes over to back to Cup. And Wands now, he just dumps it in neutral zone, taken away by Gibson Stewart, who just dumps it in. Cup is going to win the race on the far corner. It goes over to Chris Wands. Chris Wands with Nick Matro. Matro gives it up, and it goes on to the stick of Gibson Stewart. Doesn't hit Glossi, however, it gets deflected wide. On the stick of Crawford. Crawford with just a deflected shot, and just gloved down. A player in front, Glossi got a glove on it, was able to hold on. 17:51 remaining. Niagara still leads 1-0. at the North Buffalo Ice Rink. Thank you for joining us. We want to thank any Niagara fans that are listening in to our broadcast, the Oswego State ACHA YouTube channel. And of course, we want to thank our faithful fans that have tuned in all season long as we crossed a couple road trips, as well as all the Murano Campus Center games, including the one at the Anthony Crisafulli Fort Hockey Rink. At the end boards now, Niagara has that one Logan Field. Logan Field just gives it up. He's going to give it to David Hazlett, and Hazlett gives it up. They'll go into the neutral zone with Jay Chapin. Chapin onto Walsh. Walsh tries to get to round one. Now it's a 2-on-1. Hazlett. Shot just goes wide. That shot, came from Noah Koenig. And now it's on the stick of Kyle McNamara. McNamara over Lemieux, over to Chapin. Chapin shot, gets deflected high. That's going to hit the ceiling. There's some low ceilings here. We might see that a couple times depending how high it gets deflected. That shot, original shot, came from Koenig. And now that one got deflected up in front, didn't hit Golosi. But it goes all the way in zone and now hits the top. They are pretty low. If you ask me, I can almost touch it with my hands, and we are a little elevated up here. Oscar Markey now with Chris Carey and Joe Marcellic. Niagara wins that one and holding on to it. However, it's going to be Chris Carey at the end boards, giving up to Gibson Stewart. Niagara holds on. Robert McNamara, but he gives it up, and that goes on the stick of Carey in the neutral zone. Chris Carey tries to get on. He's crunching to the boards, and Markey's going to skate after it. Try to beat Kyle Clifford. I'm sorry for getting in the way there. This ice is a little weird compared to the Murano Campus Center. That is now going to be no icing. Bobby Vasta couldn't win the race there and shot right from the slot, but not getting all of it was Christopher Gazowicz. And now Bobby Vasta has at the end boards. Vasta over to Marcelo, tries to tip it, and Markey gets it. Thankfully gets it. It heads into the neutral zone. He just dumps it in to the end boards. Grant Zell holding on. Marcelo tries to deflect that one away from Robert McNamara, but instead it's going to go to the neutral zone with Kyle Clifford. Clifford tries to get a shot off. Chris Wantz blocks that once into the neutral zone. Chris Wantz pumps it away again. Now Marcelic just misses it, and it's dumped in by Niagara. Chris Carey with the puck. Carey over to Cup. Cup looking for a pass. He gets around one defender. Anthony Thurstall now looks for a really long pass on a Marcelic stick. No icing, however, it misses Marcelic's stick. Deflected in. Zell thought it was an icing. I thought it was an icing, but the play continues. 16 minutes remaining in the period. No icing as Cup touches up at the end boards and puts it right onto the stick of Anthony Thurstow, who just wraps it around. David Fish. Fish right up in front. No shot on goal. Golosi pokes it away. Now a shot right up in front. And once again, hits the netting for another stoppage of play. 15:43 now remaining in the period. And just a fair warning, we are going to pull out the battery during the intermission and charge it, just so we don't get a big situation. We'll charge them and then put it in right before the period starts again, so we have minimal changes like we did last week. But we're going to try our best here, as we weren't able to charge this week. Guillaume Herbert wins the faceoff shot on Golosi, but he'll just hold on. Guillaume won the won the faceoff. Goes right into the chest of Golosi, but he holds it down with a glove. 15:38 now remaining in the period. Same crew, Guillaume Herbert wins that one with a skate kick, English is fun. CJ Walsh gets it and passes it around. Now Martin Simek up to Nate Morgan. Gives it over to Guillaume Herbert. Now Dawson. Dawson maybe looking for a second, but he just skates around instead. He's fighting for the puck and holds onto it and gets it back to Simonek. Simonek shot. That's a deflective wide. They're looking for a shot, but it was deflected by Niagara's stick and goes into the end boards instead. Not even close to Zell. Oswego State fighting for it at the end boards. Dawson trying to get there. So is Nate Morgan. CJ Walsh bumps his man. He holds onto it with that long reach of his. That one Morgan. Morgan just dumps it in and grabbing it onto the stick now with Logan Field. Avoids potential icing with 15 minutes remaining in the period. Wraps all the way around. Martin Simonek now bumping into his man. Now CJ Walsh at the end boards. Walsh looking for a pass. No one there. Vecchio has the puck. Vecchio onto the stick of Peters. Peters backhand right up in front. Might have hit Golosi. I couldn't tell. There was a screen up in front. Either way, it does not hit the net. Now a long pass onto the stick of Matro. Matro just can't hold on, and it is going to be offsides called, I believe. It looks like it's going to go back into the neutral zone, far down from where the pass was. Battery still holding on. 14:34 remaining in the period. Looks like it was just offside, just barely. Nick Matro thought he was on. Either way, goes back to neutral zone. Knees, Cardi, Matro once again. Knees wins that one, goes on to stick to O'Neal. O'Neal looking for a pass into Cardi, but instead goes right into the bench. And we'll head back into now the Oswego State defensive zone with 14:33 remaining in the period. Niagara University still leads 1-0 following the Robert McNamara goal. And while we have the stoppage, we are going to switch the battery as there's an X across the battery for us. And we're going to wait hopefully till the next stoppage. And once again stops as we are going to switch the battery out real quickly. So I apologize for the black screen, but we're going to try to do it any stoppage possible so that you guys get the full action. Handycam is on, and we have half a battery once again, so hopefully this will stick for a little bit. And once again, we are going to charge as much as we can during the intermission so that we don't have these problems. Nick Matro just gives it up, and now onto the stick of Thurso, shot right up in front. Glossi holds on. Looks like there might have been a couple sticks flying, but Glossi does hold on anyway. 14-14 remaining in the period. A lot of close chances for Niagara. We don't have a shot total like we do at Marano Campus Center, but I gotta think Niagara does have the advantage. I think Lakers might only have one or two. Smolka just wraps it around now for Niagara. That's going to go onto the stick. Patrick Romano gets a shot, but that's deflected high and wide. It goes back over to Smolka, and now with Thurso. Thurso along the end boards, just skating around. That goes back to Romano. Romano up to Thurso. Thurso tries to get out on one. He can, sort of. He just dumps it in past Lemieux. Now with Cup. Cup looking for a pass. Instead, it goes on to the stick of Lemieux. Lemieux's bumped into the boards, but going down instead is Thurso, who tried to hit him. Looks like Thurso got the worst of that one. Scrum up against the board. Mike Lemieux, Theo Cup, along with David Fish. Oswego State wins that one, goes to neutral zone. Kyle McNamara's speed. He's going to try to race back Patrick Romano. Kyle McNamara gets around one, but doesn't hold onto the puck. Smolka hit it back with a little bit of a slapstick. Now Niagara has possession. Lemieux just dumps it back into the end boards. He goes off. Patrick Romano at the end boards now, going to look for a pass to a teammate. Now on the far boards is going to be with Justin Crawford. Marcelic had it for a second, but Crawford holds on, and now goes onto the stick of Patrick Romano again. He gets around Markey, and now goes to the offensive zone. Romano looking for a shot. He gets a pass right in front and just goes wide. It might have hit Galossi. Might have got on the stick, I'm not sure. Now a long pass from Kyle McNamara over to Marcelic, but it just goes ahead of him and goes onto the stick of Vecchio. Vecchio gives it over to Stewart, and Stewart wraps it around the end boards. Markey's going to battle for that one. Instead, he hits Kyle Clifford instead of going for the puck to avoid any conflict. CJ Walsh with a shot that gets deflected wide. Marcelic looking for it. Markey just hits it back, and now CJ Walsh is going to get up there. Shot goes deflected up in front and goes over the goal. Doesn't even hit Zell once again. Now a breakaway opportunity. Just goes ahead of the stick of Andrew Parrish. Galosi's going to hold on. CJ Walsh to make sure Parrish doesn't even get close to Galosi. 12:24 remaining. Niagara University still leads 1-0 over Oswego State. Once again, we thank you for joining us on YouTube Live at the North Buffalo Ice Rink, home of the Buffalo Bisons. The NECHL playoffs hosted by Canisius College, who got the first round bye. Oswego State Niagara playing for the quarterfinal round to attempt to get into the semifinals. Chris Carey now tries to fight for it. That stays in the zone. Bobby Vasta now. Chris Carey gets around one. He's going to look for a pass. Fans on the pass and goes right under the stick of Logan Field. Field just dumps it in. It's going to go on the stick of Bobby Vasta at the end board. Vasta up to Carey. Carey can't get a stick on it. That's a shot wide and high from Logan Field at the blue line. Now with Marcelic. Marcelic to O'Neal. O'Neal looking for Vasta, but Vasta went the wrong way, and now it's at the near corner. Niagara holds on right into the chest of Galosi. Couldn't hold on after a field shot from the same spot. Almost a wide open shot from Manning. Just couldn't get a stick on it. Now with Field again. Just dumps it in this time instead of taking a shot. Manning falls down, doesn't get to the puck. O'Neal fighting for it, and now it's on the stick of Manning. Manning right up in front. Galosi holds on. It's a goal from behind! Patrick Manning gets the back of the shoulder of Galosi, and now they lead 2-0 with 11:34 remaining in the period. Galosi thought he had it, but instead, it's a goal. Niagara University jumps out to a quick 2-0 lead less than 9 minutes into the opening period. Oswego State's got to get back into this one. They haven't had really a ton of offensive time. compared to the zone, compared to Niagara, and it all started with that Martin Simonak penalty. Gazewicz and Herbert. Gazewicz wins that one and goes on to Stewart. Stewart gets hit by Herbert, tries to go for the hit, but Stewart knocks him down instead. Herbert is a little slow to get up. He's hopping around a little bit, trying to get back into it. Niagara once again, Gazewicz, but instead goes onto the stick of Wands. Wands gets hit and spun around, and no offside there. It goes right in front. And now over to Niagara with Robert McNamara. McNamara tries to get around Wands. Wands pokes it away, looking for a pass on with Herbert. Herbert tries to get a backhand over to Wands, just ahead of him. Nate Morgan kicks that one. It's going to go into the offensive zone for Oswego. Ryan Peters looking for the wraparound goal once again. Instead, it goes into the blue line for Kyle Clifford. Clifford just wraps it around. That's going to go onto the stick of Peters. Just goes ahead of him actually now with Wands. Wands tries to get to Dawson. Dawson can't get a stick on it. Now Romano. Cup. He's going to skate himself. He goes up to Herbert. Herbert hasn't had a goal all season. He just tries to dump it in. Now with Herbert, he holds on. Instead gives it up to Kyle Clifford. Clifford backhand over to Thurstow. Excuse me, not Thurstow. Robert McNamara. He gets around Cardi, but he can't get around Knees. Knees jabs him up, stops him a little bit, but Niagara still able to dump it in. Knees now trying to get over to there to the far boards. Instead, Niagara will just dump it in. Martin Simonak now fighting for it, along with Thurstow this time. And now both players, Martin Simonak able to jab it out of there. Nick Mason just dumps it back to Simonak. Simonak trying to look for a pass. He gives it over to Cardi, but it's cut off immediately by Smolka. Smolka has the puck. He gets around a couple guys, and now it's with Thurstow. Thurstow just gives the backhand back to Smolka at the end boards. Right up in front, Thurstow in the slot just gives a pass off. Tyler Stockwell, who will just dump it in now with Fish. Fish right in front, shot, Thurstow blocked up in front. It might have been stopped by Walsh. Instead goes into the pads of Galosi. And with 9:40 remaining, Niagara leads 2-0. Another save by Galosi. Once again, like I just said, Niagara leads 2-0 quick after the power play goal and the even strength goal. Galosi making some good saves. Couldn't, just a bad break on the shot from behind the net. But now it's with Carey. Carey, he gets it, dumps it past his man, Patrick Romano. Chris Carey does win the race, however, into the end boards. Now it's with Marcellus. Marcellus, look for the back of the Markey. Markey couldn't get a stick on Carey. Carey tries to get around. He sticks left a couple times, and Romano comes away with it. Romano now skating up with some speed. Poked away by Markey. Markey couldn't get firm stick on Marcellus. Marcellus just dumps it in. That's going to go to the stick of Vecchio. Markey skating after him with some speed. He almost hits Vecchio into the boards, just dangles around him. And now it's going to go on the stick of Parrish. Parrish has only got Vassa in front of him. Parrish couldn't get a shot off. Now it's with O'Neill. O'Neill back to Vecchio. Vecchio looking for a shot or a slot pass to the slot. Couldn't get anything. Instead goes to the blue line with Logan Field. Field shot gets deflected wide. Now it's with O'Neill once again over the Lakers. Now with Crawford. Crawford at the far corner. Crawford looking for a pass right up in front. Couldn't get anything. It's poked away. And now it's with O'Neill. O'Neill, usually a defender, gets into the neutral zone, but it's poked away by Parrish. Into the end boards now. Galosi holds on, leaves it for Bobby Vassa. Markey skating around with him. Vassa, long pass up to Marcellus, but it's just good to the stick lifted. And that's onto the stick once again of David Hazlett. Into the zone of Niagara for Hazlett once again. He gets off to Clifford. For 60, Logan Field gets out to Patrick Manning, who just dumps it in with a tip. Theo Cup looking for the pass. He's pushed into the end boards with Manning right there with him. Logan Field looking for something. Instead goes into the neutral zone with Hazlett. Hazlett back skates a little bit, gives it off to Field. Field gets around one, blocked down by Chapin. Field just dumps it in instead after Chapin trying to get a pass off to McNamara. Now with Wands. Wands up to Lemieux. Lemieux tries to get a pass over to Chapin, but it gets deflected to neutral zone. Just like that, goes back into the end boards with Wands. Wands gets over to Cup. McNamara was calling for it, but Wands didn't see him. Now with Cup over to Wands again. Wands up to McNamara, over to Chapin, back to McNamara. McNamara skating, just dumps it into the end corner after it was deflected by Gibson Stewart. Now Lemieux. Chapin just couldn't get a stick on it, right in the slot. Wide open opportunity. Now it's a 2-on-1 for Niagara. Now with Peters. Peters shot right in front. Goal from Robert McNamara. 2-on-1, just the one-timer tip over the pad. It was 7:29. Niagara University leads 3-0. Quick 2-on-1. A turnover led to that one after Chapin just couldn't get a stick on it. Niagara's Robert McNamara with his 25th goal of the season, which is this lead to 3 quickly. 12 and a half minutes in, Niagara leads 3-0. Golosi's still in the net. Timmons not looking very happy right now for the Lakers, nor is Alhart. Right up front, Chase Needs went down. He gets through. Chase Needs gets around one player. He gets around Stewart, but can't get anywhere near the goal, so he's just going to look for a pass along the boards. Matro looking for a pass. He gives it up to Needs, but that's immediately cut off by David Fish. Tried to force that one a little bit. Now in the neutral zone. That one's cut off by Cardi after Niagara. Now on Matro. Matro looking for a pass. He gets over to Walsh. He's going to skate in, but can't hold on to it. He's knocked down hard right to the boards, and looks like he's a little slow to get up, but he's going to stay on. Now with Walsh, he tries to knock his man down, but it's held onto by David Fish. Now with Walsh over to Simonek, his defensive partner. Simonek just dumps it in over the head of Zell. Zell didn't even need to get a glove on that, and it's going to go right to the neutral zone and actually into the bench of Niagara with 6:42 remaining in the period. Niagara leads 3-0 after that stoppage in play. We still have one bar on the camera. Into the offensive zone for Oswego State. They'll probably want to get at least one here before the period ends and not go into the second period with a 3-goal deficit. This is definitely not how the season wanted. They would want the first period to go for sure. Chris Carey loses that one. Now with Markey, just gets past Markey, It's going to be an icing if Bobby Vasta wins, and he does. Bobby Vasta just gets ahead of the 2-on-1, and just like that, he'll go back into the offensive zone for Oswego State, maybe with a better chance this time. Markey's going to be at center ice for the Lakers, and at center ice for Niagara is going to be Frank Vecchio. Linesman talking to Timmons real quick about something. Now Markey wins that one. O'Neal shot right up in front, sticked away by Zell. A little bit of a bobble there. It could have been dangerous. Now Marcel looking for something up front. He almost gets something up front. Just cutting it off is Niagara. O'Neal cuts off his man, Crawford. Bobby Vassa will get that one again. Vassa knocked down. No call there. He's a little slow to get up. Chris Carey now skating into the zone. Carey's out to Marcellus. Up to Carey. Carey looking for someone in the center. No one's home. Goes all the way across the ice on O'Neal, who just dumps it back in. O'Neal tries to get it up to Markey, but it's cut off by now with Vecchio and Marcellus. Marcellus with a shot. Weak shot. It's blocked up front by Niagara. Now Crawford into the neutral zone. He just shoots it up. That goes on to Obasta. Now with O'Neal. Looking for a pass. Goes over to Carey. Carey gets hit very hard into the boards by Ryan Peters. No call. Carey is very slow to get up after that hit from Peters. He didn't even have the puck yet. Now at the end boards with Vassa. Vassa holding on, looking for a pass, and actually Niagara has it in the skate. Vassa now shoving his man Gazelwick. They're going at it a little bit, not even facing the puck. Now Vassa has it in his skate, looking for a pass. It's frozen along the end boards. Vassa's knocked down. Now at Markey almost comes away, and now it's out. Niagara right in front. Bobby O'Neal just gets it out. Sorry, Ryan O'Neal just gets it out. Sean O'Neal, not Bobby O'Neal. I'm mixing up the defenseman there. And now it's at the far board. Now Marcellus just gets it into the neutral zone, and the battery is out. I apologize. We haven't been looking for a stoppage in play, but we weren't able to get it there as it's back into Mike Lemieux at the end boards. Now, luckily there's stoppage play. Goal goes off its moorings. Didn't exactly see what happened. Bobby Vassa looked like he was in to Golosi. It doesn't look like there's going to be any penalties forward. Actually, Manning is going off to the bench. Now Bobby Vassa is going right off the ice. Not exactly sure what happened there. Bobby Vassa off the ice. He might be done for the day. Bobby Vasta not happy as he heard the gate slam. Another stoppage of play for a little bit. We're going to have to get the word on that to see what happened to Vasta. We'll listen to the public address announcer. And it doesn't look like we'll have any penalty. It looks like we might just have a misconduct, maybe a game. Not exactly sure what happened. We'll have to see, as we were exchanging batteries, what happened there to get Bobby Vasta sent off, most likely for the game. Now Oswego State only with 5 defensemen on the ice. If you were just hearing there as you were watching, Bobby Vassa with a 10-minute misconduct and also a game misconduct. So he's done for the night. Oswego State down to 5 defensemen. So we'll have to see who's going to double shift for the Lakers. They already had Chris Wands and I apologize for the papers. Chris Wands and Theo Cupp is the first line. Martin Simek and CJ Walsh is the second. Sean O'Neal now the lone fifth defender. We'll have to see who double shifts. Wands just a shot. Goes into the pads of Zell. Zell just went into the butterfly to stop that one. Looks like he might have been a little screen. Now wrapping it around is Niagara. Jay Chapin just can't win the race, and now that's going to go on the stick of Lemieux. Actually, as Niagara turned it over, McNamara up there along with Mike Engler. McNamara can't get a stick on it, however. As it's bat out there, high stick from Oswego, actually, to go out. And it looks like he's going to go back into the defensive zone for Oswego State. Theo Cupp touched it a little too quick for the high sticking call without Niagara touching it, excuse me. Referee and Alex Pelosi talking now. 4:07 remaining in the period. Lakers trail by 3 to Niagara University, 3-0. Markey at center. Markey doesn't win the faceoff there. Loses it to Crawford. Now with Vecchio. Vecchio onto the second Cup. But Vecchio comes away with Vecchio right up front. Vecchio shot. And it's it. It's in! Frank Vecchio with a goal. And just like that, it's 4-0. 3:58 remaining. And it looks like Dan Parapesco is getting ready to come out. Alex Pelosi is going to be pulled 4-0 with 3:58 remaining in the period. A weird bounce. Alex Pelosi is done for the night. Dan Parapesco is going to head on, excuse me. Goaltender switch for the Lakers. Dan Parapesco. He's got 10 games played, 5-4 record. He won last time against Niagara with a 357 goals against average. Referee's talking to Chris Timmons now, and I'm actually sure what about. Just for some more stats, Dan Parapesco has 307 saves on the season with a 903 save percentage, 33 goals allowed with 357 goals against average, and 1 shutout. Referee's talking, not exactly sure what that was all about, but doesn't look like anything major. Looks like just a goaltender switch. Markey at center ice along with Vecchio once again. 3:58 remaining in the period. Both of them touching sticks up high. Vecchio and Markey both going at it, and both of them will get pulled from the circle. Marcelic and Crawford. Vecchio just dumps it in. Crawford might have gotten more of the win there. Now it's Simonek. Simonek on the Markey stick. He's hipped into the boards, excuse me. And that goes on to stick of Vecchio once again. Vecchio a long board pass, but good off by Chris Carey. Carey on the near boards with 3:40 remaining in the period. Now with Markey. Markey, where did he go? Shot, blocked down, right in front, and couldn't get anything on it. Just held in by Simonek, and that was on the line. Referee just calls it offside, and now Markey and a couple players are going at it. Markey and Vecchio, they were at it at center ice as well. It looks like both players are going to go to the box. To see what the calls are for both players. Captains are going to meet to talk about what happened there. Captains and referees are going to meet to see what happened, see what the calls are going to be for both teams. Oswego State now just playing with a lot of frustration, quite honestly. Down 4-0 in the first period with 3:33 remaining. Quite honestly, I don't blame them, but it's a lot of frustration early on. Parapesco now in net. Bobby Vasta out for the game. Oscar Markey and Frank Vecchio both in the box. And from the looks of things, it might be 4-4. They both do get 2-minute minors. It looks like there's an extra player going in for Niagara, however. So it might be 5-on-4. And Lakers might have their first power play of the game. As it is 5. And never mind, Marcelic is going in instead. So just like that, an extra player in the box for both teams. 4-on-4 hockey. Nees wins that one. It just dumping it in. Is Martin Semnak with 3:30 remaining. Dumping in is Oswego State. Both players get a 10-minute misconduct penalty and a 2-minute minor for roughing. Shot from the point, blocked up in front by Zell. Zell bobbled it a little bit, makes sure to get it around. He looks for a wraparound. It's almost in. No! Zell just gets the diving save. Couldn't get the backhand wraparound, and just like that, it stays 4-0. Sorry for my silence here. I'm trying to listen to the public address announcer. We don't have a nice board like we do at Murano. However, Markey and Vecchio both with 2-minute minors for roughing and 10-minute misconduct, so they'll be out for the next 10 minutes. They'll be out for a little while, so they're not going to go off to the locker room even with that little time remaining. Sean O'Neill can't win that one, and he loses it to Robert McNamara. McNamara holds on to far boards. McNamara onto the stick of Romano. Romano looking for something, and now over to Field. Field over to Romano. Romano, shot! Goes high and wide. And it looks like there might be another call. Referee blew the whistle for something. It looks like CJ Walsh is staying on, and now doesn't look like anyone's going off for a penalty. It just looks like there's a stoppage of play. Not exactly sure what the stoppage was. Goal crease might have gone off this morning just a little bit. Well, a minute is already gone for both 2-minute minors. 52 seconds remaining, 2:25 in the period. We still have one bar on the camera, so hopefully we can keep it for the rest of the period. Romano at the near corner, and it gives it over to Smolka. Smolka shot up in front, stopped by Parapesco right up front. Oswego State clears it away. Niagara University lost a glove. Now Nick Matro. Nick Matro skating up the ice himself, looking for getting some speed. Now right in front for the slot. Not getting it is Chapin. It's O'Neill can't hold on to the puck either. Now it's in the neutral zone. O'Neill just dumps it back in. Chapin was knocked down. O'Neill not happy about that one. Not able to keep it in. Now Niagara is going to have possession. Cup. He's knocked down a little bit by Stockwell, but Cup is able to get it off to O'Neill. 1:45 remaining in the period. O'Neill up to Cup. Cup way over to McNamara. McNamara with Chapin. McNamara shot. It just goes wide. It might have hit the pad of Zell, and Zell will hold on. Marcelo came out. He thought he had enough time, but there's a 1 second remaining on the power play, on the penalties, on the minors that is. So he can't come out yet. A little bit of a false start there by Joe Marcelic. Chapin at center ice along with Justin Crawford. 1:33 remaining in the period. Jay Chapin wins the faceoff. O'Neill tries to keep it in, and now it's with McNamara. McNamara can't hold on, however. It's going to go on the stick of Kyle Clifford. Clifford over to Stewart. Stewart backhands it over to Clifford, but it goes off the post, back on the Stewart's stick. Coach there now, Cup, shot, and just sticked away by Zell. 1:16 now remaining. It's going to be 5-on-5. Both players in the box still for that 10-minute misconduct. So they'll be out for about, let's say, 6, 7, 8 minutes of the second period before they can return to their bench. Oswego State looking for that first goal still. Andrew Parrish can't get a stick on it. No icing, however, as he's going to win the race anyway at the end boards. O'Neill pinning him into the boards at the end boards. Crawford there to help. And now we're at a low battery a little bit, so hopefully we get a stoppage, or the battery might go. 1 minute remaining in the first period. Niagara leads 4-0 in the first period. Cup, he has the puck, he wraps it around. I'm trying not to kill the camera before the period ends. 45 seconds. Let's see if we can get a stoppage potentially. Now to Stewart. Stewart gets a shot. That's blocked up in front. Now a Clifford. Clifford, backhand. Guts goes behind the net. That goes on the stick of Parrish. Parrish bumped into by Dawson. Dawson holds on to it a little bit. Gives it off to O'Neill. O'Neill's met by Parrish. And now Parrish can't hold on to it. 25 seconds remaining in the period. Now almost at the blue line with Dawson. Carey's able to get it out of the zone, but he can't get past anyone. Now it's with Stewart once again. 15 seconds remaining in the period. Now Crawford just kicks it onto the end boards. 10 seconds, and now Cup. Cut off by Stewart once again. He just dumps it into the far corner this time with 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's how we'll do it as Cup holds on to end the period. And we're going to cut off the camera and hopefully charge it as much as we can to end these so that's how the first period will end. Niagara University leads 4-0. Not sure about shot total, but Alex Golosi was pulled. Dan Parapesco put in. Bobby Vasta out for the game with a 10-minute misconduct. Oscar Markey with a 10-minute misconduct. Frank Vecchio with a 10-minute misconduct. So we will wait for how long. A lot of penalties in this game early on. One power play for Niagara led to a goal, the opening goal, and that's where we stand. So at the end of 20 minutes, Oswego State trails 4-0 to Niagara University at the North Buffalo Ice Rink. You're listening to you're watching Oswego State ACHA hockey on YouTube Live. We'll be back momentarily for the second period. And we're back for the second period of play at the North Buffalo Ice Rink, where Niagara University leads 4-0. After only 20 minutes of play, Alex Colosi was pulled after the fourth. Dan Parapesco in net now for the Lakers. Bobby Vasta with a 10-minute misconduct and a game misconduct, so he's done for the night. Oscar Markey and Frank Vecchio both with 10-minute misconducts and also 2-minute minors for roughing apiece. Those 2 minutes are over, but both are going to go back into the box for their 10-minute majors momentarily as the period begins. 20 minutes on the clock for the second period as Oswego State's going to try to battle back in this one. Get at least one on the board to ruin the shutout. And this would not be a fun way for the Lakers to go out this season after really an up and down season. Some big wins, some big losses. And I'm sure that's not how the Lakers want to end their season for their seniors, which included Vasta, Oscar Markey, Chris Carey, and also the fourth senior, who's slipping my mind right now. Give me one moment. Let me look at the list. Kyle McNamara, I apologize about that one. Completely slipped my mind. That one going to go all the way down after Niagara, won the face-off. Chris Wands puts it into the neutral zone, taken away by Nick Matro. Matro looking for the pass. He's going to escape behind Parapesco now with 19:40 remaining in the period. He gives it up to Cup. Cup tries to give up to Cardi, just out of reach of Cardi. That goes out of the stick of field. Into the neutral zone now, Knees over to Cardi, and Cardi on it over to Matro. Matro looking for a shot. He just dekes around, loses the puck. Chris Wands is going to try to keep it in the zone. He bats it down, no high sticking. That's going to go on the stick of Matro. Matro just wraps it around the end boards, and that's going to go onto the stick of Knees. He tries to get to Cardi. Cardi loses the puck and down the stick of Wands. Wands can't get a firm stick on it either. And that's going to go all the way down. Icing as Theo Cup just wins it past Robert McNamara with 19:07 remaining in the period. It's going to go back into the Niagara offensive zone. Grant Zell still in net for the Purple Eagles. Under a minute to go, less than a minute played for the second period. Oscar Markey and Frank Vecchio both in the box for that 10-minute major misconduct. Chapin at center ice, but loses it to Ryan Peters. That goes on to stick of Hazlett. Hazlett hits it all the way down. It's going to be an icing as Martin Simonek wins that one without really any competition from Peters. So it's going to go back into the offensive zone for the Lakers once again, maybe looking for a chance here to pull it back with at least three. With now 18:59 remaining in the period. The middle frame. Andrew Cardi, Jay Chapin just wins that one out in the slot. Mike Lemieux just blocked up in front. Now with Walsh, shot goes wide. McNamara tries to get up in front of Chapin. Chapin's not there, but he does eventually get it along the end boards. Kyle McNamara and David Hazlett are going to fight for that one. Hazlett is the victor. Hazlett gives it off to Field. Field onto the stick of Robert McNamara, who just dumps it in, hits the ceiling. Stoppage in play. Unfortunately, even if that went in the goal, that can't count. This is not the game of pool. This is hockey. Does not hit the ceiling. Stoppage in play. Now it's going to go into the neutral zone right at center ice. Jay Chapin's going to be at center ice along with his 8 counterpart, Tyler Stockwell. Stockwell wins that. Actually, no. David Fish won it over to Tyler Stockwell, who just dumps it in. And now it's Simonek doesn't win the race. Thurstill gets the puck and wraps it around once again. Now that one's with Fish at the far corner. Fish up to Romano. Romano over to Smolka. Smolka with a shot. That's sticked away. Now Lemieux. Lemieux skating a little bit, trying to get onto the stick of Walsh. High jump for Smolka. Blocked it down. Walsh could have had a potential breakaway. Bad break there. Now with Chapin. Chapin tries to get over to Lemieux. Lemieux just tips it. And now C.J. Walsh is going to try to use his long reach. Lemieux's going to fight Stockwell for it instead. Lemieux looking for a pass. Gives it off to Simonek at the far corner. Simonek now fighting for it with Thurstill. Now sticks with Niagara though with Romano. Romano, shot, goes wide. Doesn't even touch Parapesco. Now with Smolka. His shot goes wide as well. Now with Simonek. Simonek up to Lemieux. Lemieux just tips it. It goes into the neutral zone. Gives a little love tap over onto the ankles of Smolka. C.J. Walsh now fighting for it. Now with Chapin. Chapin looking for someone, or maybe a shot gives over to McNamara. McNamara's shot goes right into the glove of Zell. The crossing Zell with 17:28 remaining, still 4-0. Heading out into center ice now is going to be Chris Carey in lieu of Oscar Markey, still in that misconduct. And that also on the faceoff is going to be Pavel Kovtunov for the Purple Eagles. Sean O'Neill gets the neutral zone, just can't get a stick on it though, and now it's going to be on the stick of Andrew Parrish. O'Neill loses a stick into the neutral zone now. With Gibson Stewart. Taken away by Theo Cup. Theo Cup doing himself. Now with Marcellus. Marcellus just holds it onside. Cup went offside after he lost the puck. And now with Cup, who just dumps it in. Clifford near corner with Dawson. Dawson gets around a couple guys skating along the end boards looking for a pass. Dawson gets it along the end boards over to Marcellus. Marcellus looking for something. Now it's Sean O'Neill. O'Neill shot right into the chest of Zell once again from up close. Dawson gets shoved by Clifford a little bit, and those two exchange some pleasantries with 16:49 remaining of the period. Lakers still trail 4-0. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube Live for Oswego State ACHA hockey in the NECHL quarterfinals. We want to thank the Oswego State faithful for always tuning in all season. We want to thank any Niagara fans for tuning in as well. Nick Matro up in the slot, can't get around anyone, but Chris Wants is able to dump it in. Matro couldn't get a shot off, and now it's going to be on a stick of Clifford. Clifford blocked by knees, and now it's at the end boards of Stewart. Stewart gets it up to Clifford. Clifford. Right on the slide out for Cardi. Cardi can't get a backhand, however, and now it's with Matro on the far boards once again. Matro just hits it around. That's going to go on the stick of Walsh. Walsh not able to get a full dump around as he's cut off by Crawford. And he gets it back after Crawford trying to pass it backward to Kovtunov. Now in the neutral zone with Knees. Knees looking for a pass off to Walsh. Walsh, he gets it. Now Walsh is going to use the speed himself. Walsh, shot blocked up in front by Clifford. He's also knocked down by Clifford. And again, you don't see that often. C.J. Walsh, he stands at 6'4". He doesn't get knocked down often. Walsh tries to kick now to Crawford. 2-on-1 Parrish. 3-on-2. Now with Parrish. Parrish right up in front. Sticked away by Parapesco. Nick Matro. Walsh waited the ref after he was interfered with a little bit. Knees just loses it. Players go offsides. Chris Wands can't touch it. Back onto the stick of Hazelwood. Now with Knees. Knees can't get a stick on it into the neutral of Wands. Wands back to Walsh. Walsh tries to get a pass up. No one there, and that goes in the stick of Hazelwood, who dumps it all the way down back almost into the glove of Wands, but he overskated it. It goes into the far corner with his two counterpart, Mike Engler. All the way around to Mike Lemieux. Lemieux looking for the pass, can't get anything off. They said he gives it back to Walsh. Walsh gets around one, looking for a pass as well. He gets out to Mike Lemieux. Mike Lemieux's going to skate with it for a little bit, looking for maybe a long pass over to McNamara. Just ahead of him on the bank pass. He tries to swipe it away from Logan Field, but couldn't get anything. It's right up in front once again. Simonek, shot blocked up in front by Hazlett. Not a strong shot. Now Chapin right up in front, tipped away. Doesn't even touch Zell. Now with McNamara right up front, sticked away once again. A couple more shots, nothing really strong. Now that one's just going to be dumped in and sticked away into the netting by Dan Parapesco. 14:47 remaining in the period. 4-0. Niagara University still leads. Mike Lemieux and referees exchanging words, most likely about something that happened in the offensive zone. Mike Lemieux nods but shakes his head as he skates away. Not sure what the talking was about there, as it's now in the defensive zone for the Lakers. Carry for Gazowicz. Carey wins that one, goes on to stick at Dawson. Dawson almost gets to the neutral zone. He's hooked down and doesn't get a call, however, after Patrick Romano put a stick right in his face. Robert McNamara gives it up to Martin Simonek. Simonek over to Marcellus. Marcellus over onto the stick, almost Dawson, but it goes ahead of him. He tries to hit Romano afterwards, but can't get any revenge. Offside, and now in the neutral zone for Romano. He spins around. Now knocked down by Chris Carey. Chris Carey knocks him down, gives him actually a little fist. Romano not happy about that one. Now for Robert McNamara. Shot. Goal! Robert McNamara on the breakaway from Dan Parapesco right up in front. And now Niagara University leads 5-0. That hit leads to nothing for the Lakers. 14:16 remaining. Robert McNamara with his second now leads 5-0 for the Purple Eagles. Oswego State not looking like they're 100% in this one right now. and it's not going to be easy to come back from this 5-goal deficit. Actually, it's his hat trick. A fan tossed a hat onto the ice. So I believe, I'm not mistaken, Robert McNamara now with a hat trick tonight in only a period and a quarter. Patrick Romano wins that one at the far corner, excuse me. Now with Chase Nees. Nees looking for something. Nees up in front. Shot. Fans on it right in front. It's a goal! Nick Matro pulls it and wins 4. Let's see if they can get this momentum going. Actually, that might have been Nees. Not exactly sure who got that one, but either way, 14:04 remaining. The shutout is ruined. The Lakers take this one to get this goal. Now they're only down by 4. It just got past Zell. Looked like a little bit of a bouncy puck. Either way, Oswego State on the board, only down by 4. They got time. Let's see if they can use this momentum. Now with Cardi. Cardi looking for something. Shot. Gets the block up in front by Clifford. Got through. Just not strong enough to hit Zell. All the way down. Theo Cup blocks it. Now it's a 2-on-0 opportunity. Right up in front with Tyler Stockwell. Stockwell up in front. Stopped by Per Pesco and glove down. 13:49 remaining. Niagara University now leads 5-1 after the Chase Nees goal. At center ice is going to be Chase Nees once again with Tyler Stockwell. Nees wins that one, goes out a stick of Cup. Matro tries to get that instead, hits his man. And now with Chase Nees, who just pokes it into the offensive zone. McNamara with the hat trick. Theo Cup gets it in the neutral zone, tipped by Cardi, and it will be icing as Cardi couldn't get a stick on it.
First Oswego State goal, scored by number 16,
Nick Matro is given the goal, and Andrew Cardi and Chase Nees are given the assist. So that's Nick Matro with a goal in back-to-back games, and that's going to be his 4th of the season, 13th point for his senior year. I believe he's a junior. I could be wrong, though. Now with Kyle Clifford. Clifford shot, deflected wide. Per Pesco didn't see it, but doesn't even touch him. Instead, now with Cup. Cup on the end boards to Wands. Wands backs it over to Cup. Cup didn't notice too late. Cardi knocked off the puck. Is at the blue line with Parrish. Now Cup. Cardi. Cardi couldn't hold on to it. Nick Matro right on his side. Almost a 2-on-1 breakaway. Now with Cup behind the goal. Cup gets around Pavel Kovtunov. Now he just backs-hit it weirdly off the glass on a second. Parrish. Parrish blocked up in front after a slap shot from Wands. And now with Cardi trying to get around one and skating after it now with Chase Nees. David Hazelit holds on to it. Hazelit gets a backhand onto the stick of Cup into the neutral zone. He gets over to Wands. Wands back to Cup. Cup up to Kyle McNamara, who just tips it in. No icing. David Hazelit has that now in the near corner. Hazelit. He clears it all the way down. No icing. CJ Walsh might win it. No icing. As no Koenig just got there. Koenig's knocked into the boards though, however, by Walsh. Walsh up to Lemieux. Lemieux skating with some speed. He's got time. Lemieux in the offensive zone. Takes a shot and just goes into the stick and high glove of Zell. No rebound opportunity. And into the netting it stays. It's going to be deflected. It looks like it might stay in the offensive zone for the Lakers. And while we have a stoppage, we're going to be switching the battery. Handy cam is on, and hopefully we can get it off in the next couple seconds. J.H. Chapin. He wins the face-off, but it goes into the neutral zone with C.J. Walsh. He had to leave it because it was offside. All the players tag up, and now Patrick Manning just tips it in. And Martin Simnek's going to get that behind the goal. Simnek knocked off the puck by Engler. Niagara has it. Now at the blue line, shot from Field. That goes wide. Lemieux, he gets around Koenig. He tries to get up to Chapin. Chapin can't get a stick on it, and now to Koenig once again. Now into the far corner for the Oswego State defensive zone. Now with Simnek. Simnek looking for a pass. He gives over to Walsh. Walsh looking for a pass, and he gets cut off by Ryan Peters. He was looking for Kyle McNamara in the center, and that is just offside. Another player was pushed off, so we'll go back to the neutral zone. 11:33 remaining in the period. Oscar Markey and Frank Vecchio back out onto the ice. Oscar Markey will take the center ice drop. Vecchio not on the ice. making sure nothing happens there with Markey. Markey is being talked to by the linesman, maybe just to give him the verbal warning that if anything else happens. Tries to get up to Marcel, but that one's cut off by Daniel Smolka. Now going to the stick of O'Neal. O'Neal almost, he does lose it onto the stick of Ryan Peters. He tries to get up in front now with Smolka. Smolka, shot from the blue line, blocked up in front. Backhand, just gloved down by Parrot Pezco. I can't tell who had the shot there. It might have been Christopher Gazewicz. Just gloved down, however, 11-12 now remaining, 5-1. Niagara University leads. Markey wins that one, now with O'Neal. O'Neal over to Marcelic. Marcelic at the near side. Marcelic looking for a pass. Shot. O'Neal tries to get the tip, but it goes right into the pads of Zell. Markey's getting back on defense, now with Cup. Cup way up to Marcelic, but that's cut off by Daniel Smolka. Sean O'Neal. O'Neal looking for a pass. Said he's just going to dump it in for the clear. Oscar Markey's going to skate after along with Chris Carey as Zell held on to it. Marcel now loses his stick. He's going to try to keep skating around with it. Markey tries to hit over right in front. Just goes wide as Chris Carey on the backhand. And Markey hold on now up inside Marcelic, but he can't get a second shot. O'Neal, and it just padded away with the stick. Marcelic once again. Marcelic looking up, goes to Markey on the end boards. He misses the puck, and that goes onto the stick. Patrick Romano. Romano into the neutral zone now. Now with Cup. Now a penalty. Shot. Fanned on it. It was a good big Theo Cup now with a big hit, and he's going at it with Ryan Peters, and it looks like Robert McNamara is very slow to get up. Players talking, exchanging pleasantries once again. Cup's got to go into the box. Trainer is going to come out for Niagara, but it looks like she's going to head back as Robert McNamara is heading off. Cup in the box. Let's see what that call is. Looks like just a 2-minute minor. Nothing for the extra hit against McNamara, that hard hit. So it looks like it's just going to be a power play for Niagara once again. Just a 2-minute minor. 10:05 remaining in the period. Niagara leads 5-1. They already have one power play goal tonight on their lone power play chance. And it looks like Chase Dees is going to be at center along with David Fish. Actually, there's a 2-minute minor as well for Ryan Peters, so it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey. So there's going to be no power play. Cup with a slashing call. And Peters with a roughing call. So 4-on-4 hockey. Oswego State's going to try to do something here as they get away with one. Now with David Fish. Now Knees over to Cup. Or Wands, excuse me. Wands up to Matro. Matro looking for a shot. Shot goes high and wide. Trying to pick the corner like he did in overtime last weekend against Niagara. Couldn't get anything going. Just dumping it in. Now with Pez. Pez holds on to the chest. 9:33 remaining. And then we're going to exchange the battery once again. It's going to stay in the offensive zone for the Lakers. Or defensive zone, excuse me, as Pez held on. Jay Chapin loses the draw to Pavel Kovtunov. Kovtunov looking for a backhand pass. Instead, it goes on the stick of Chapin. Chapin over to Wands. Wands using his speed himself. He just dumps it in around the end boards. That's going to the netting off a weird bounce off the glass. A couple more stoppages. 1:14 remaining in the period. 5-1 Niagara leads. Looks like it's going to go back to the neutral zone as no player deflected it. Wands wants it up in the offensive zone. So does the rest of Oswego State. But it will go back to the neutral zone with Jay Chapin at center. McNamara and Wands to his sides. Walsh behind him. He's going to face off against Pavel Kovtunov. Puck is dropped. Kovtunov ties up Chapin, but it off momentum goes onto the Niagara sticks. And that's going to be Clifford. Clifford into the offensive zone. Looking for a cross-ice pass. Almost gets around Walsh. Doesn't get a shot or a pass off, but he holds on instead. Now near boards, and now it's going to go on to stick of Chapin. Chapin's got McNamara to his right, and he gives it to McNamara. McNamara looking for a pass, tries to give it to Chapin just behind him. Now wants a slot. Slot! And no goal. It looks like, I don't think he even touched Zell. And it might have been blocked up in front. And now Chapin once again. Chapin tries to, McNamara, tried to give it to Wands instead, but gives it back to Walsh. Walsh loses it. It goes into the neutral zone. Walsh tries to get around one. He does. Looks for a shot. Take a shot, but it hits the ceiling after a deflected shot. It was 28 seconds remaining on the penalties. 8:32 in the period. Not a shot. Oswego State still trails 5-1. About halfway through the second period now. Or a little more than halfway, I should say. At center ice is going to be Knees along with Christopher Gazewicz to battle the 15s. Knees wins that one and goes on to stick of Matro. Matro back to O'Neal. O'Neal over to Matro. Matro can't get a stick on it. He recovers it, however, and goes back to the stick of O'Neal. O'Neal back to Matro. Matro for looks something inside. Inside skates. Now right in front for Knees. Knees just can't get a stick on it. And Knees gives it back to O'Neal at the blue line. O'Neal just wraps it around, trying to give it to Matro. It does get onto Matro's stick. Now on the Knees at the end boards as well. Matro at the end board now with Knees. Knees fighting for it. Now onto the stick of Logan Field. Niagara comes away with it. Almost gloved down by O'Neal. Carty tries to poke it away from Gazewicz, but Niagara holds on. Shot, and just goes wide. That shot came from Ryan Peters. Penalties are over for both teams. Knees gives it up to Matro. Matro gives it all the way over to Simonek. Simonek wide open, just a little behind it. Couldn't get anything. He just dumps it in. Goes behind the goaltender a little wide. Now with Field. Field at the end boards. Gives it over to Hazel. Hazel a long pass over to Peters. Just tipped. There's going to be no icing as it was tipped. Now with Chris Carey. Chris Carey bumped off the puck by Robert McNamara. McNamara. He's going to give it up to Smolka. Smolka shot just goes wide. It looks like a little deflected. Now Simonek. Simonek just tries to get into the neutral zone. That's blocked down by Field, who just dumps it back in. McNamara. Robert McNamara from Niagara, that is. Now with Joe Marcelic. Marcelic at the end boards, along with Sean O'Neal. Now gloved down by after a shot for Smolka at the blue line. O'Neal holding on to it with Robert McNamara and Andrew Parrish right on him. It looks like Oscar Markey's right there with him. Markey comes away with it, however. He's able to get it out. He gives a pass up to Carey. Carey looked like he had some space, so was immediately cut off by Vecchio. Now back to O'Neal, who tries to get a long ice pass to Markey. Cut off by Smolka and goes back to O'Neal at the near corner. Simonek. And the battery has gone once again. I apologize. Now in opposite zone, no goal there. Now with Smolka at the blue line. Shot. It's blocked up in front. Parapesco once again gloves it down. Martin Simonek with a high stick to get him away, and Markey just pulls Parrish away. Everyone looks like they're okay. O'Neal looks like he's just not holding his stick, however. He might have hurt his hand maybe a little bit. He's a little slow to skate back to the bench. We have a stoppage in play finally, so we're able to switch that battery. Not sure if there's going to be any penalty ensuing. It doesn't look like it, as it is still 5-on-5. Simonek stays on the ice. It looks like he just gave, referee's just going to give him a warning. And Simonek is complying. And now a little bit of a stoppage. Simonek talking to the referee now still about something. I'm not exactly sure. And Simonek is going to head to the box, actually. So there is going to be a penalty. No, he's going off the bench. I apologize. I couldn't see Wands behind McNamara. Now Niagara does hold it in with Parrish. Parrish gets it behind the back end onto the end boards for Justin Crawford. Cut off by Cup. Excuse me, but Crawford holds on. Cup gives it back to Wands. Wands looking for a pass. He gives it over to Lemieux. Lemieux just kicks it off his skate, and that'll go on the stick of Smolka. Lemieux gives it right onto the stick of McNamara. McNamara shot just goes wide. Try to get him short side. Now rebound shot from Wands. He can't get any of it, and that just goes across the ice. Cup just dumps it back in. It's going to be offsides. Wands can't touch it. All the players touch up, including Lemieux. Lemieux now skating toward the end boards to try to pressure Patrick Romano, but Romano does get the pass off to Smolka. Cup holds it in. No offside. Lemieux at the end boards. Patrick Romano does win the race, though, to the far corner. He gives it off. Chapin almost cuts it off. Cup takes it. McNamara tries to dump it. Instead, Cup does, and it goes behind the goaltender. Smolka. He looks, Smolka gives it up to Pavel Koptanov. He's mocked board by Morgan, tipped away by O'Neill, and that one's just going to go offside. Niagara's got to tag up. O'Neill at the end boards, 5:10 remaining in the period. Matro. There looks like to be a stoppage. It looks like it's going to go offside, or there's going to be a stoppage and play into the neutral zone. Not exactly sure what the call was there. Not exactly sure what the call was there, but it is going to go back into the neutral zone. 5:06 remaining in the period. Chase Nees at center ice. Noah Koenig, his counterpart. Koenig wins that one with a little bit of a weaker slap. Matro has it and gives it over to Morgan. Now back with Matro on the near boards. Matro gives it over to Nees. Nees just can't get it now. Show O'Neill. O'Neill fans on the shot. Patrick Manning off to the races. That's almost cut off by Nees, and now that's going to be on the stick of Koenig. Koenig can't get a stick on it. He's going to be behind the boards of what for his team set up. Koenig protecting the puck from Nees. O'Neill there along with Pavel Koptanov. O'Neill poking at it along with Matro. Nees comes away with it. He gets around one. Tries to get to Morgan. That just goes behind him. Morgan can't kick it. Now it's glove down by Parapesco, and he just leaves it off for O'Neill. 4:25 now remaining in the period. O'Neill over to Walsh. Walsh over to Nees. So he goes ahead of Nees. Now Matro gives it off for Nees. Nees loses the puck. Morgan knocks his man down. David Fish. And O'Neill has it in the defensive zone once again. Walsh gives it back to O'Neill. O'Neill looking for a pass. Long pass over to Matro. Just goes ahead of him though. Gibson Stewart wins that one. Gibson Stewart falls. Nick Matro didn't notice soon enough, so he wasn't able to recover. And now with O'Neill. O'Neill backhand. Looking for a shot. Can't hold on to it. He recovers it at the near boards. Morgan now with a little bit of a high hit, and O'Neill is just going to keep it in. O'Neill looking for a backhand up front for someone. No one there. No one knocking. And now a breakaway opportunity for Tyler Stockwell. Stockwell. Shot. Gets around. Just blocked by Parapesco. It might have gone wide. Either way, it doesn't go in the goal. Still 5-1 with 3:30 remaining in the period. Anthony Thurso gives it back to Clifford. Clifford. Shot. Blocked up in front. Doesn't touch Parapesco. Now shot just goes wide from Fish. Right up in front off the rebound. Now with Carey. Carey skating with some speed with Morgan. Carey looking for a shot. Gets fans on it. Try to maybe dangle around instead of losing the puck, but it does recover it at the near boards. Back in the neutral zone. Chris Wands has it. 3:05 now remaining in the period. Theo Cup. Cup over to Wands. Wands over to Carey. But that one's cut off by Stockwell as well. Over to the far corner. He dumps it. Theo Cup. Cup over to Wands. Wands going to win that race, and he's going to look for a pass. Instead, he's just going to retreat a little bit and give it back to Cup. Cup retreats himself. He tries to give over to Carey. Carey does get the puck. Fans on it. Shot from Niagara. It's in! 6-1. Christopher Gazelwick's off the turnover, and it just goes through the legs of Parapesco. Oswego State looks like they're slowly out of this one. Niagara now leading 6-1 with 2:44 remaining in the second period. Niagara taking control of this game. As both teams reconvene at center ice. Theo Cup has it. He tries to get up to Lemieux. He does after a bank pass. Lemieux just dumps it in himself. Hits Zell. Doesn't hold on to it. Now McNamara slap shot. Just goes wide. No one home knocking on that rebound. Cup just dumps it in himself. On the stick of McNamara behind the goal. Looking for Chapin. Couldn't get there. Now Wands. Wands' shot goes wide as well. And now onto the stick of Peters, who dumps it all the way down. Gazowicz as well. Cross-ice pass right in the slot. Couldn't hold on to it. Was Logan Field. Field has it in the neutral zone now with 2:10 remaining in the period. He tries to get off to Peters, but Peters can't hold on to the neutral zone. McNamara. McNamara bumps up the puck now with Wands. Wands looking for someone. Tries to get around. He does, and then right into the chest of Zell. He holds on. Wands looking for it. He's looking for potentially his first goal of the season. Nothing doing. 2:01 now remaining in the period. Lakers trail 6-1. Chase Nees at center along with Frank Vecchio. And now it's with Vecchio in the neutral zone. Vecchio looking for a shot. He leaves off of Crawford. Crawford didn't realize. Now with Cardi. Cardi loses the puck to Parrish right up in front. Now with Smoke from the blue line. Shot. And he just deflected high and wide. Parapesco couldn't get a stick or a blocker on that. And now it's with Knees just loses to Crawford, excuse me. Now back to Bueno Romano. Romano, shot just deflected wide. Parapesco got a little bit on that. They're right in front. Parrish, it's in! No goal. Referee does wave that one off. Looks like it might have gone off a skate. No goal though, 1:29 remaining in the period.
No goal.
Oswego State trails in this one 6-1 with 1:29 remaining in the period. Knees at center ice along with David Fish. Fish wins that one, goes all the way back to Romano, now over to Smolka. Smolka up to Stockwell. Kicking it is TJ Walsh up to Cardi. Just out of reach for Cardi, and Patrick Romano have it in the far corner. Smolka leaves it off. And now it's with Matro. Matro bumps into the boards off the puck, and now Niagara does hold on. Knees keeps it in over to Matro. Matro just can't keep a stick on it. Cardi bumps into Romano. Now comes he's knocked down hard. Now with Simonek. Simonek looking for a shot. He takes a shot. That's blocked up in front. He can't get the rebound. 1 minute to play in the second period. Martin Simonek in the neutral zone just tips it in. That's almost offside, but Nick Matro tagged up. Either way, Smolka has it behind the goal. CJ Walsh gives it up at the blue line to Knees. Knees can't get a stick on it. Now it's with Nick Matro. Matro loses the puck to Fish. Fish might have to go down with Knees. Knees. Lemieux. Shot. Blocked. Lemieux up the side again. Blocked again by Sal right in the pads. And a couple of really close opportunities. And now Lemieux and Fish are going to jab at it a little bit. Once again, playing with a little frustration. 31.4 seconds remaining in the period. Nick Matro as well, going at it a little bit with Anthony Thurstone. Both of those players are going to go into the box. Matro and Thurstone. Matro also had the 10-minute misconduct last weekend against Niagara. So maybe there probably might be some bad blood between these two teams following last weekend's matchup. But Matro and Thurstone in the box. Cup and Gazowicz are talking to the referees to figure out what happened and what the calls will be. Cup talking with the referee now. 31.4 seconds remaining in the second period. Looks like it's going to be 4, maybe 5 on 5. I guess you can't tell what it's going to be with players talking. It looks like 5 on. It is going to be even strength hockey, so that's most likely a misconduct. A longer misconduct, that is. Sean O'Neill now with it. 10-minute misconducts for both as well, so they'll be out for nearly half the third period. Now, Carey just goes wide on the shot. 10 seconds now remaining. Now with Lemieux. O'Neill, excuse me, can't hold on to it. Now with Koenig, 5 seconds. He just dumps it in. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's how the second period will end as Parapesco slaps it away. And Mike Lemieux along with Kyle Clifford going at it. Now with Markey getting pulled away by Koenig. Markey and Koenig going at it as well, post whistle. Lemieux shoved by Stewart, and this could be interesting. Lemieux and Kyle Clifford talking. Clifford points to the scoreboard. Lemieux just playing with some frustration right now. Both teams will go off the ice. At the end of 40 minutes, Oswego State now trails 6-1. They are at least able to get one on the board. But the third frame is going to require a big third period for the Lakers. They want to have a chance in this one. 20 minutes remaining in regulation. Players are talking to referees to see if there will be anything post-whistle, penalty-wise. But that's how the middle period will end. Niagara University leads 6-1. We'll be back on YouTube Live shortly for the third period of Oswego State ACHA hockey versus Niagara University. Welcome back to the Buffalo North Ice Rink in Buffalo, New York, where Niagara University leads the Lakers 6-1 after 40 minutes of play, And there were some penalties, it looks like, following the second period during that post whistle scrum for Niagara. It looks like number 23 Anthony Thurso and number 29 Noah Koenig were both in the box, and Nick Matro is also in the box for Oswego State. So it's going to be 5-on-5 hockey, though. Looks like there might be misconducts. Looking to see if anyone's missing off the bench from the Lakers, and it doesn't appear so. The only person I could think that would have gotten pulled is Mike Lemieux, and I'm trying to look through the faces. I do see him, so he's on the bench. Markey, looks like Marcelic is going to head to the box as well. Looks like Markey talking about this one to try to figure it all out. They're trying to decide who's going in the box. The coach is trying to figure out who's going in the box. Is it 25 or 26? It's going to be 26. Oscar Markey is going to go to the bench. Looks like some misconducts. Not exactly sure what the penalties are going to be. I'll have to listen for it. Markey's even questioning why he's in the box. Either way, Nees wins that face-off, and the third period is now underway. Oswego State with a tall glass to fill. Markey and Koenig both with 10-minute misconducts. I didn't hear what Thursto got, unless that was along with Matro. I can't really remember. But Niagara up front with the puck, and that's cleared away by Wands at the blue line. And now dumping it, it is Niagara. Chapin not able to get to that puck. It's going to be in the neutral zone. Glove almost gloved down by Cup, but Wands is going to have it behind his own goal at the end boards. Wands now with it. Wands looking for a pass. He gives it over to McNamara. McNamara just dumps it in himself to cross ice to the far corner. Chapin pressuring Smolka, and now is with Vecchio. Vecchio over to Parrish. Parrish over to Crawford, back to Parrish. Parrish looking for a late pass, can't get anything. He holds on instead. Now it's a Smolka. Smolka shot goes way wide, not even close to Parapesco. Now it's a Simonek. Simonek over to McNamara. McNamara crunching to the boards and holding on to it is Crawford. Now with Nees. Nees gets around one. He's bumped off the puck and can't race after it. Smolka holds on in the neutral zone. Glove down by Parapesco. He's going to leave it off for Martin Simonek with no Niagara players around him. Now he's going to look for a long pass up to Marcelic. Instead, Marcelic just hits the stick of Zell, but Zell holds on with the glove. 18:28 remaining in the period. Niagara still leads 6-1 after a four-goal first period, which really took the Lakers out of this one early on. Nate Morgan at center. He loses the draw to Chris Gazowicz. And now it's with Brett Dawson, however, in the far corner. Dawson back to Cup. Cup up to Dawson. Dawson skating with it, looking for a pass. He gives it up to Marcelo. Morgan almost there to poke it in. Just going to get a stick on it. O'Neal looking for holds onto the puck in the offensive zone. He's able to hold a little pressure. He's interfered with it off the puck. Now Morgan right up front. Dawson can't get a shot off. O'Neal with it along with Patrick Romano. They're going to tumble to the ground. O'Neal brings Romano, and they're still going at it afterward. Post whistle, they're going to let him go. They're touching, and linesmen are trying to pull him off. O'Neal and Romano both going at it. And this might lead to some larger penalties. A lot of frustration from O'Neal. 18:02 remaining in the period. O'Neal gives one last shove to Romano. Romano with some words. O'Neal silent, it looks like. We'll have to see what happens to both players. O'Neal and Romano looks like they're both going to go off the ice. That's going to be a game misconduct for both players. So now the Lakers down to just 4 defensemen. Romano off the ice as well for Niagara University. So they're down a man as well. 18:02 remaining in the period. Referees discussing this one. Not a close game by any means, but a very intense physical game from both teams. Oswego playing with a lot of frustration right now. Carey and Gazowicz talking about this one to the refs to see what's going to happen. And it looks like it's simply going to be game misconducts, but it is going to go into the Oswego State zone. It's going to go to the neutral zone right at center ice, and it will remain 5-on-5. So Oswego State down to 2 defensive pairs. Patrick Romano goes off for the Purple Eagles. And this game is going to end pretty chippy. Referees talking to Niagara University coach. Maybe trying to get a little more out of it. But nothing happening. 5-on-5 hockey. Center ice, Chris Carey and Chris Gazowicz facing off. Carey wins it, gives it off to Cardi. Cardi tries to give it to Walsh, but it's just ahead of him. Now Walsh over to Lemieux. Lemieux out of Simonek. Simonek just loses it. And now over to Clifford. Clifford tries to get a long pass over to Englert. And it is going to be an icing. Englert not that one.
4 minutes for roughing, a 10-minute misconduct, and a game misconduct. All penalties occurring at 1:58.
A lot of penalties there. However, the major part, both players receiving 10-minute misconducts and game misconducts. I believe Niagara University did get a 4-minute penalty for roughing, and I'm assuming so did Sean O'Neill. Right up for Lemieux. Lemieux shot, blocked out by Zell. He held it onto it, and Zell doesn't know where it is. Lemieux trying to get a shot. Now Watts. Watts, a great save by Zell with the glove. Now with Cup, who just dumps it in. Offside, tagging up is Oswego State. Close chances, Zell all over everything, just offside though. Chris Carey falls down on his own accord. 17:23 remaining in the period. In the neutral zone now, Chase Needs is going to be at center alongside Niagara University's David Fish. Chase Needs loses that one to Fish, and holding onto it is Clifford. Clifford just dumps it in a little wide of Parapesco, but Wands will hold onto that one, leave it off for Cup. Cup over to McNamara. McNamara loses the puck, but Cup holds on, and now over to Wands. Wands just tries to bank it to Chapin, but that one's going to be cut off by Stockwell. Stockwell just dumps it in, now it's with Cup. Cup over to Wands. Wands looking for a pass himself. He gives it back to Cup. Cup at the near corner. Cup tries to get to McNamara, just goes over his glove. Holding onto it, it's going to be Gibson Stewart. Stewart looking for a long pass himself, and he gives it to Compton now, but that's cut off by Chapin, who just dumps it in. It's cut off, however, again by David Fish, and now it's right in Chapin. Chapin tries to get around the boards. He's hit a little late into the boards, no call after he banked it around. Chapin right up in front, now with Nees. Nees looking for a backhand. He just misses it wide. CJ Walsh now with it. Chase Nees is getting knocked down. He can't get up. And now it's right behind the net. A big scrum for the puck. Now Chapin. Chapin shot. Blocked up in front by Clifford. Doesn't know what it is. I believe it's under Clifford. CJ Walsh with a last second shove. And I think he might have shoved Peters or Stewart. I can't tell who it is. Looks like it's Stewart. So CJ Walsh and Stewart shove a little bit. Nothing more after that. It looks like the puck might have been under Clifford for the stoppage of play. 16:20 remaining in the period. Chase Nees still at center ice now with Vecchio. And Vecchio wins that one and now goes on to stick of Parrish. Parrish over to Crawford just behind him, but he'll dump it in instead. After he recovered the puck, and now with CJ Walsh at the near corner. Walsh tries to give it up. It's onto the stick of Vecchio, who just dumps it down to the stick of Nees, now with Manning. Or Crawford, excuse me. Crawford tries to wrap around right up in front. Vecchio shot. Blocked by Pez. And that just goes wide on the rebound by Vecchio. Parrish looking for a pass up front. Nees cuts it away. Now with CJ Walsh. Walsh gets it up to McNamara. McNamara's going to chase it with speed with Crawford right there. McNamara can't get it now with Nees. Nees shot. Goes onto the pads of Gazelle, who just hits it away. Now McNamara right up in front. And that one's loved to stick away as well. McNamara with a little bit of a hit. Now it's Cup. Cup blocked in front by Nate Morgan. Oswego State can't get anything on net right now. And that one's blocked in by McNamara. And just out, Nate Morgan. It looks like it might have hit a player who was offside, but no call. Now it's a 2-on-1. Vecchio offside, and Oswego State got away with one there. Theo Cup on the near corner. Cup looking for a pass behind his own goaltender. Gets up to Guillaume Herbert. Herbert can't hold on to it now, and it looks like it just goes offside. Herbert and Fields exchange a couple pleasantries. as they skate apart. 15-12 remaining in the period. Niagara leads this one, 6-1. Rivera wins that face-off and gives it back to Wands over to Cup. Cup looking for a pass. He looks for a really long pass. Rivera just tips it. It's going to be no icing, however, as Zell goes out of his crease to go at it. Rivera now skating after it. He looks to lay a hit on Peters, but Peters just escapes it. Now he's fighting for it with Peters. Guillaume Rivera and Brett Dawson along with Peters. And it looks like Englert fighting for the puck all in the near corner. Rivera and Peters going at it a little more past the puck. Nate Morgan now in there laying a hit. And now Niagara comes away with it. Now with Gazowicz. Gazowicz just dumps it around past Wands. Wands is a little slow to get to the puck. Now with Gazowicz behind the boards. Gazowicz for a backhand pass, and he gives it back just onside onto the stick of Englert. Now on Morgan. Morgan off to Manning. Manning gets a shot, but that goes wide, and now with Cup. Cup on the near corner looking for a pass. He gives over to defensive partner Wands. Wands gives it back over to Cup right in front of the goaltender. He's got two men on him. Now a long pass on to Morgan. Morgan tries to tip it, but that's tipped in by Englert. And it's one man back on the stick for Wands. Wands skates around looking for a pass. A Cup went off, and now to Simonek. Simonek just onto the stick now of Kovtunov, who dumps it in. He's hit by Morgan. Martin Simonek. Simonek tips it. He holds on to the puck. He's going to use his own speed and gets it into the zone. He's hit hard. He goes down. Puck is left behind. Chris Carey now with it. He's bumped off the puck and goes onto the stick of David Fish. Fish behind his own goal. Looks for a long pass onto Kovtunov, and that's going to be an icing as it went over the stick, and CJ Walsh wins that one. 13:41 remaining in the period. Oswego State trails 6-1. And unfortunately, this looks like it could be the end of the season for the Lakers in the first round, the quarterfinals of the NECHL playoffs. Chris Carey loses the face-off to Niagara, and taking it away is Kovtunov. Kovtunov banks it off the boards and it goes on the stick Lemieux. Lemieux leaves it off for Cardi. Cardi looking for a pass right in front. Chris Carey's knocked down. No interference call there as he wasn't even near the puck. He's cross-checked down. Now into the neutral zone onto the stick of Simonek. Simonek. Now with Walsh. Walsh dumps it in. Goes onto the blocker as Zell. That goes into the netting. So it will stay into the Niagara University defensive zone. Excuse my cough there. Forgot my water bottle in the car as I got here. And now it's going to be in the offensive zone for Oswego State. Chris Carey at center ice. Carey loses the face off to Vecchio, now just dumped in by Wands. Hardy chasing after, but Clifford's going to win that race as he looks for a pass. He gives it up all the way to Vecchio. Vecchio can't get a stick on it. It goes on to stick of Wands over to Cup. Cup just dumps it in. He goes just past wide of Zell to go to the near corner with Stewart. Stewart over to Clifford. Clifford now with Crawford. Crawford, he's going to look for a pass to Parrish. Instead gives it over to Vecchio. Vecchio gets around Wands. He looks for maybe a shot. He gets one. He's in. It just goes wide. It goes off its moorings. Pez had the pass on that one all the way. It remains 6-1 with 12:50 remaining as the battery once again goes. All lines are going to change for both squads as we change the batteries as well. A full team change. Players on the ice. The broadcasters change the batteries. Chase Nees down at center ice with Kyle McNamara to his left. Nees wins that one and leaves off from McNamara, who couldn't get a stick on it. Now it's with Wands. Wands over to Cup. Cup now over to Chapin. Chapin just tips it down. And now it's going to be Clifford. Clifford gets a stick, or Chase Nees gets a stick on the long Clifford pass, and it stays down in the zone. Now it's going to go to stick off Ryan Peters. Peters bumped out the puck by Chapin. Chapin hit into the boards hard by Clifford, it looks like. And now it's fighting for the puck. Now it's Stewart. Stewart clears it all the way down. It's going to be no icing as Theo Cup just beat it to the red line. Now it's with Chapin in the offensive zone. He misses a big hit from Clifford as he fell down, and so did Clifford both. Clifford had a lot of momentum going into that one. Going all the way back down, no icing. Theo Cup with it in the near corner. He looks for a pass. He's going to try to leave off from McNamara. Instead, skates around past Manning. He's going to spin around and pass it off, or look for a pass rather, behind his own goal crease. Theo Cup skating up the ice with some speed. He's going to try to leave up for McNamara, who just gets it. No offside call, and Chase Nees can't get a shot off right in center. And the fans wanted the referees in the stands wanted an offside call, but with 11:35 remaining, no call is made, and it's dumped back into the offensive zone for Oswego State. Now 11:30 remaining. Tyler Stockwell, fans on the long clear. He's hit by Dawson, and now it's with Field. Field looking for a pass behind his own goaltender. Field gets it past knees and goes onto the stick to Fish. Fish tries to leave it off for Field, but it's cut away by Walsh, and Walsh is going to use his own speed, maybe some of his height. Now with Dawson. Dawson tries to leave it off for Walsh, just a little bit light of a pass, and now it's going to go on with Field. Field with Stockwell to his left. Field looking for a shot. He fakes a slap shot, goes around the goaltender, looking for something up front. Instead, he's just going to keep skating. And skating he goes, and now he just wraps it around behind the boards, and Simonek is going to get to that one. Instead, it's actually cut off once again by Fish, and now it's taken by Morgan. Morgan over to Dawson. Dawson, he's looking to take a shot. He does. Just goes way wide of the blocker. And now it's on the stick of McNamara. McNamara over to Parrish, but that was cut off by Wands. Wands going to use his speed himself, and just offside. He didn't see Dawson coming off. 10:33 now remaining in the period. Battery's dead. We're going to switch that as well. And it's going to go back into the neutral zone for the Lakers and Niagara face-off. Niagara is still leading 6-1, nearly halfway through the third period. Now with Robert McNamara, Chris Carey center ice. McNamara wins that one and goes way up into the neutral zone. Theo Cup wins that one. Or they get into that battle. Now gives over to Wands, who gives up to Carey. Carey, shot blocked up in front. He's knocked down now with Cardi. Cardi, shot, and goes in. He's in! Andrew Cardi scores. Not a ton of difference. 6-2, still down by 4 goals, but there's 10:19 remaining. Either way, Andrew Cardi gets a goal, his 5th of the season. The freshman from Rockville Center, New York, gets his 6th point of the season, his 5th goal. 6-2, Niagara still leads with 10:19 remaining after it went through the pads of Zell. Andrew Cardi gets that one for the Lakers. At center ice now, Knees and Gazowicz. Gazowicz wins that one, goes over to Manning. Manning now with the puck. Manning over to Peters. Peters skating with some speed himself into the offensive zone. Just off onside is Gazowicz. That was caught by Wands. Wands, he's looking for some speed, and he tries to go over to Matro just ahead of him. Clifford tipped it. Matro just couldn't get it. And now it's going to go onto the stick of Gibson Stewart. Stewart leads off for Clifford, who gives up to Manning. Chris Carey with the assist on the Cardi goal. And now that's onto the stick of Ryan Peters. Peters skating with some speed, looking for a pass. He's hit into the boards by Wands. Wands grabs the puck, looking for a pass. He wraps it all the way around. Now Stewart with it on the near board. Stewart shot goes wide, doesn't hit the pad to Pez. And now it's with Clifford. Clifford jumps it into the far corner. Thea Cup behind his own goaltender. Cup looking for a long pass. He gets it up to Matro. Matro almost loses the puck. He held on as he had to skate backwards a little bit towards his own zone. But he's into the offensive now, but loses the puck to Clifford. Nick Matro fighting for it, though, not giving up. 9:15 remaining in the period, but it's wrapped around by Clifford onto the stick of Smolka. Smolka on the near corner. Now onto the stick of Clifford once again. Knees is hit by Clifford. Now on the stick of Matro. Matro looking for a pass down low. He can't get anything. It goes on the stick of Fish. Fish over to Clifford, back to Fish. Now with Knees. Knees can't get a stick on it. Jay Chapin knocked down as he held the puck for a split second. Now he has it at center ice. Jay Chapin, he gets around one. He dangles a little bit, but it goes back to neutral zone. Martin Simonek. Jay Chapin and David Fish go at it a little bit. Jay Chapin loses his glove, but he picks it back up. Parapesco will hold on to it and freezes the puck as he saw Gibson Stewart coming in with, David Stockwell. Tyler Stockwell with some speed. 8:32 remaining in the period. .32 remaining. Niagara still leads 6-2 as both lines do change for each team. Chris Carey at center ice along with Andrew Parrish. And Parrish wins that one. Now McNamara. McNamara shot gloved down by Pez right from the slot. And now that goes on the stick of Smolka. Smolka with Carey. Carey has the puck. He looks for a pass that gives off to Simonek. Simonek just dumps it in. Just goes a little wide as Zell. Kyle McNamara skating after it. He wins the race of the puck. Down in front. Carey just wasn't there, nor was Lemieux. Now into the neutral zone. C.J. Walsh holds on. He's going to get around one. McNamara wasn't there for the rebound pass. And now Chris Carey has it in the neutral zone. Carey tries to give it back to Simonek, but Parrish cuts that one off and it's going to stick a field. Smolka just dumps it in. Offside. Crawford just a hair ahead. He holds onto the puck. 7:52 remaining now in the period. As it's offside, it'll go back into the neutral zone. Oswego State with nothing to complain about for the regular season, though. A great season, getting back into the playoffs after missing it last season. A 13-16, 0-1 record heading into this game. Sweeping Niagara for the regular season. A couple of different big wins, close calls, but ultimately does not match the loss here, as their season will most likely conclude tonight with 7:35 remaining in the period. Nick Matro has it. Chase Nees loses it. It goes to the blue line, but it's cut off now by Ryan Peters. Peters tries to get it ahead to Koenig, but it's just dumped in. Theo Cup wins that one, gets around Koenig. He's going to look for a pass as well. Tries to get up to Carty, but it's just ahead of him. Now it's to Smolka. Smolka dumps it in, cut off by Wands. Wands over to Nees. Nees using some speed. He gets around one, but he's not able to hold on to the puck now with Cup. Cup almost brings it offside, holds it in. He's just going to dump it in himself as all the players tag up. Smolka, Nees meet. Nees gets around Smolka. Nees looking for a pass now. Nees gives it up, and Smolka takes it away now with Simonek and Central Ice. Field now with it. He gets around Simonek, looking for a backhand shot as a power forward move, but he can't get anything off. Now looking for a pass. He gives it off. Shot. It goes in off the post. Shot from David Hazelett goes in, and now it's 7-2 with 6:41 remaining off the post. Hits both posts. It goes into the net past Parapesco. 6:41 remaining after David Hazelett goal. Niagara University now leads 7-2 at the North Buffalo Ice Arena. We thank you for joining us on YouTube Live to listen to and watch to Oswego State ACHA hockey versus Niagara University, the NECHL quarterfinals. Wish I could say I was bringing a better result for Oswego State fans, but unfortunately, this looks like, once I said, like how the season may end for them. Markey tries to block it in, but cannot, and Martin Simonek will hold on to it in his own zone. It's off to Carey. Carey, neutral zone, tries to give it to Markey. Markey just misses a puck as Egor dumps it in. Chris Carey for a long pass up to Marcellus. Marcellus got two men in front of him. No Oswego State forward with him. He just takes a slap shot, goes just wide. Oscar Markey just misses the puck, and now it's onto the stick of Fish. Fish at the end boards. He loses to Marcellus right in front of Markey. Markey shot, weird angle, hugging the post was Zell. Now a shot from C.J. Walsh just goes high. Simonek in the neutral zone. Over to Walsh. Walsh just dumps it in and goes all the way around the boards onto the stick of Gibson Stewart. He's going to look for a pass as well. Stewart onto the stick of Cup now in the neutral zone. Cup leaves off from Markey. Just tipped over his stick. He can't grab it. Now C.J. Walsh. C.J. Walsh knocks down his man, and it looks like we might have a little bit of a stoppage. Walsh and Anthony Thurso exchanging some pleasantries. Thurso pointing at the scoreboard for Walsh. It doesn't look like any penalties will be given. Looks like just might have been a stoppage in play. 5:38 remaining in the period. 7-2 Niagara University leads. It's actually going to go into the neutral zone toward the Oswego State half of the neutral zone, that is. Jay Chapin at center along with Noah Koenig. Chapin wins that one and goes on to stick of Wands. Wands now with Cup. Cup over to Chapin. Chapin now skating with the speed in neutral zone, now with McNamara. McNamara shot goes into the stick of Zell, who just sticks it away. McNamara again. McNamara looking for a pass up front. Can't get anything up front. No one there. Now onto the stick of Thurso. Thurso with Wands. Wands just dumps it back in. It's like Thurso originally tipped it, but Wands able to recover and tip it in. Now on the stick of Stewart. Stewart over to Clifford, now on the stick of Wands. Wands just tries to dump it in, but Stewart once again holds on to it. Now with Koenig. Koenig onto the stick of Thurso. Thurso can't get a shot off. He'll just keep skating. He's hitting the boards by Cup. And now that's going to go onto the stick of Tyler Stockwell. Clifford dumps it back in. Cup looking for a pass. Cup backhands it onto the stick of McNamara, who just can't hold on, and Stewart dumps it back in for the Purple Eagles. Now with Wands. Wands backhands it to Cup. Cup with 4:40 remaining in the period gets off to McNamara. McNamara just dumps it in himself. He's going to chase after it as well, with Kyle Clifford holding on to it. Over to Gibson Stewart. Stewart looking for a pass. He was pressured by Cardi. Back over to Stockwell. And now Simonek will dump it in himself. Blocked up in front of the neutral zone. He's hit hard. That went off Cardi. Offside. Nick Mitchell holds it. There's going to be an offside call. 4:17 remaining in the period. Niagara University leads 7-2. We're going to switch the batteries as much as we can so we don't miss any of the action in the last couple of minutes. Chase Nees is going to stay at center along with Christopher Gazowicz. Nees adjusting his strap real quick for his helmet. It's a 15 square off. Gazowicz wins that one. Nees skating after it, however. Now is Smolka. Smolka gives it back for Field. Field over back to Smolka at the far corner. Now with Cardi. Cardi just loses it now with Gazowicz. Gazowicz leaves it off for Peters. And Peters tries to get a pass off. That goes into neutral zone. Now it's going to go to stick of McNamara. McNamara looking for his fourth. McNamara gets around one. Backhand. And it no shot. Actually, Perez might have saved that, but Perez gloves it down anyway. McNamara looking for his fourth. 3:51 now remaining in the period. Sorry about that. My finger just touched the mic as I kind of rubbed my nose a little bit. And now Gazowicz along with Markey are going to be at center ice. Martin Simonek has the puck and gives over to Chris Carey. Chris Carey banks it off the board to Markey. Markey up on the near side, gives it off from Zell. Zell will just glove it down as Marcel was pressuring. 3:41 now remaining in the period. 7-2, Niagara University still leads. Markey is going to remain at center, and it looks like Gazowicz is going to be at center as well. So you know Kovnatov was at center there. Markey loses the face-off to Kovnatov as Andrew Parrish takes it away. Parrish gets around one. He's trying to get around Carey. He holds on to it. Carey coming in. And 2-on-1 for Crawford. Crawford just couldn't get the one-timer on. Now with the Carey again. Carey looking for the skate with some speed. Carey gets around. Shot just goes wide. It looks like it might have been tipped. Now it's with Markey who just dumps it in. Markey down to Marcelic. Marcelic has it looking for a pass right in front. Markey couldn't get a stick on it. Now skating after his Wands as well as Smolka. Smolka was going to win that race. Wands is going to play defense. Smolka looks for a pass. He can't get anything off. Trying to get off to Kovnatov, got a little bit of a late pass. Cup looking for the long pass. And also was caught by Crawford. Crawford keeps it in the zone with 3 minutes even remaining. And that's held onto by Pez as well. Now with 2:55 remaining, Niagara still leads 7-2. Alex Golosi was the starting goaltender, and he led in 4. Dan Parapesco was led in 3. Zell's led in 2. That's where we stand, 7-2. Oswego State still trying to just fight and play out the game strong to end their season. Most likely, Michael Lemieux loses the puck to Fish, and Fish will hold on. And now it's with Simonek. Simonek grabs it around to C.J. Walsh. Walsh tries to get a long pass, and he'll skate up the ice himself and just dumps it in at the red line. With Zell grabbing the puck. Walsh right there, icing Zell with a lot of speed. Now with Simonek. Simonek looking for a shot. Takes a shot. It goes wide. It might have hit Zell, but it looks like it could have also been deflected. And Simonek knocks his man down to try to get the puck down. Right for Lemieux. Couldn't get a stick on it. Now with Simonek. Simonek. Walsh. Slap shot from the blue line. Sticked away. 2:15 now remaining in the period. Lemieux just loses the puck to Engler. Now with Stockwell. Stockwell up to Engler. Engler looking for a pass. To get possession of it rather, but it's dumped in now by Thurstow. Thurstow dumps it in. Walsh recovers it. Now with Simonek. Simonek looking for a pass. He's got McNamara to his center. He gives a long pass over to Lemieux. Lemieux giving it over to McNamara. McNamara, the senior, most likely his last game. McNamara tries to get a pass off. McNamara looking for someone in center. No one there. Zell gloves it down after a little bit of a bobble. And now there's 1:44 remaining in the period. Niagara University still leads 7-2. Oswego State's going to change their lines. Markey coming out with Nick Batro as well as Chris Carey, Theo Cup, and Chris Wands on defense. Markey at center ice talking with the linesman along with Koenig for Niagara. And now Markey has it. Wands gives it up. He's just going to dump it in instead. Looks like he might have been looking for a pass, but it was a little bit too hard. Now it's on the stick of Stewart. Stewart with a long pass on the stick of Cup. And now it's to Manning. Manning, shot, in! Breakaway goal. 1:32 remaining. And Niagara University slowly keeps playing this one out of hand. And now leads 8-2 after the breakaway goal from Patrick Manning. Purple Eagles leading 8-2 with 1:32 remaining at the North Buffalo Ice Rink. Markey, Matro, and Carey still out. Semenek and Walsh now out on defense. 1:32 remaining. Markey wins the faceoff and wins it back to Semenek with 1:30 remaining now in the period. Semenek gives it over to Carey. Carey loses the puck as it just goes offside. Stewart and Markey collide a little bit. Markey gives a little bit of a face mask to Stewart. No whistle called. Now with Carey. Carey over to Walsh. Walsh gives it over all the way to Semenek. Now Semenek gives it over to Carey. Now up to Matro. Matro looking for a pass. Instead holds on to it. Oh, Carey. Carey can't get a shot off. CJ Walsh knocks over Crawford a little bit. Now it's with Matro. 1 minute remaining in the third period, and it looks like this one might be all by done. Chris Carey now skating with some speed in the offensive zone. He loses the puck, loses his footing as well. And now into the neutral zone with Semenek, who brings it into the defensive zone. Semenek looking for a pass. Semenek gives it off for Walsh. Walsh skating with some speed himself and tries to look for a pass. Instead gets around Parrish, just dumps it into the offensive zone. Zell sticks it down. 30 seconds remaining now in the period. Crawford over to Englert. Englert with a 2-on-1 Parrish. Englert looking for a shot. Shot patted away by Pez with 20 seconds remaining in the period. He holds on now after it went off the end boards. With 20.9 seconds remaining, Niagara leads 8-2 over Oswego State. Kyle McNamara, Chris Swans, and Theo Cup coming out. Chris Carey and Oscar Markey look like they might be staying on. So three senior forwards. Three senior forwards. So it's going to be Nick Matro, Kyle McNamara, Chris Carey, and Oscar Markey. Four forwards. Chris Carey used to be a defenseman, and Theo Cup as well on the ice now with 16.9 seconds remaining in the period. Markey and Peters at center ice. Peters wins that one, but pushes ahead now with Carey. Carey's just going to hold on to it for the final 10 seconds and just give it back to Cup. Cup looking for a really long pass on the Matro. Matro gives off to McNamara. McNamara with a last second opportunity. Shot goes way wide. 3 seconds now remaining in the zone in the game. And Theo Cup holds at this one. And that'll do it for the Lakers season as they fall to the hands of Niagara University 8-2 in the NECHL quarterfinals. And that is all she wrote for the 2018-19 season for Oswego State ACHA hockey. Now this is where I do get a little sappy, where I thank you all for joining me all season long, both home and away on YouTube Live. Even after the battery troubles, audio troubles, whatever troubles we may have had, we thank you for joining us. Jerry and I, Jerry back in Oswego working, but we both thank you very much for joining us all season. We'll be back next year for sure. Same channel, same two folks, and we'll be back for the 2019-2020 season for Oswego State ACHA. Final score 8-2 Niagara University over Oswego State, and that's all at the end of the season for the Lakers. Once again, thank you for tuning in all season long. For Ben Grieco, for Jerry Pritchard back in Oswego, I'm Ben Grieco. Thanks for tuning in all season. We'll see you next year.